So the diagram shows the path of a long jumper. Point R where she lands is on the same horizontal level as P, from where she takes off. The long jumper experience air resistance as she run and jump. So if she experience air resistance, some of her energy lost to the surrounding. Which graph shows how the stored kinetic energy and gravitational potential energy varies with the point P to R, P to Q then to R. So it's the long jumper is always moving, because when a jump it's always moving, so kinetic energy cannot be zero. Like dotted line is representing kinetic energy, so kinetic energy cannot be zero at any point. That is the first thing. So even at Q it does not, because it's continuously moving, so that's why the kinetic energy cannot be zero. So A and C cannot be an answer. Now we are left with B and D. So now it is important to read the statement that they mention experiencing air resistance. So if experiencing air resistance, energy will be lost. So means the sum of kinetic and the potential will not be same throughout the motion, because sum of energy will always be lost to the surrounding. So when we take, like the dotted line is representing a kinetic energy at, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So about 8 boxes, the kinetic energy is about 8 boxes. And the gravitational potential energy is 0 box in the beginning. So the total sum is equals to 8. What about if I take this point, 2 boxes for the kinetic energy, and the gravitational potential energy GPE is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 boxes. So the total sum is equals to 7. So it means the sum of kinetic and potential energy has decreased, and it should decrease. Why it should decrease? Because it is experiencing the air resistance. If it was not experiencing the air resistance, then the sum should not change. So correct answer is B. Why not D? Why we did not select D? When you sum the kinetic and potential energy, it started here. First, this point 8, the kinetic energy is 8 boxes and the gravitational potential energy is 0. So the sum is equals to 8. But when you check this one, 1, 2, so the kinetic energy is 2 boxes and the gravitational potential energy is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boxes. So the sum remain 8. And the last point also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the last is same, but in between, because there is the air resistance acting, so the sum of kinetic and the potential energy should not be same throughout. In the beginning, the sum of kinetic and potential energy is 8, but then later it loses energy, so it should decrease. So here what is happening, it is only decreasing at the last. But here in D, it is not decreasing in between. That's why D will be the, and if D was the answer, then the final should be ending like this. There's no loss of energy. So B is the answer because it is losing energy to the surrounding.